What's up? Sammy33 coming back, another hot tag video, the first one of 2021. This is going to cover the top 5 wrestlers, and I use wrestlers as a loose term because you can probably guess I'm already found a way to cheat the list like I normally do on these things. Weird year, right? We start out 2020 with the Royal Rumble crowd going crazy, booing the hell out of Brock Lesnar, super excited to see Drew McIntyre knock him out, and we end the year at TLC with no fans in the Thunderdome. The most unique WrestleMania that we have had, no fans. The Performance Center, you get the birth of the cinematic matches, Boneyard match, Firefly Funhouse match, the Swamp match. I mean, so many things have happened this year that are definitely make it unique. But what I wanted to focus on is the stars that shine the brightest during these previous 12 months. We'll do matches. I'm still kind of formulating that mix of matches. That list will be interesting. I think it'll be, they're all debatable, but I'm still kind of figuring out. There's some matches I'm not really sure where they sit, and I have to kind of think about it. That said, let's talk the list. First thing I wanted to do is give props to two and honorable mention who don't make this list, but I felt needed some recognition for the years that they had. The first one is Keith Lee. You ask, wow, Keith Lee's not on there. Did you see what he did in NXT? Yeah, I did. I also saw that he won his first pay-per-view match when he did get called up against Randy Orton. But the way he ended 2020, it kind of took away some of the shine that he had. He had a great year in NXT, no doubt at all. But it took the main roster is a weird thing. And I'm sure we've all heard about Vince sending some wrestlers back, Keith Lee being one, to work on their craft, so to speak. He had a great year. I just wanted to give him recognition because he's one of the brightest stars in NXT. Everyone was super excited for him to pop up to the main roster. Hope he continues to do well while he's up here. I think he's a future champion in training, in waiting, whatever you want to call it. I'm really excited to see what he does in 2021. So I want to give him some props. From the female side, Rhea Ripley. I really debated hard on putting her on this list because she had a great start to the year. The match with Bianca Belair at TakeOver, who I think is an amazing talent, and unfortunately, even though she lost, still a great match with Charlotte at WrestleMania. I was really kind of annoyed that Charlotte won, in the sense I didn't really feel that she needed the title, but whatever. And then she kind of, she gets the rematch, but it's a triple threat with Io. And then it just, she kind of disappeared for a while. But I felt when she was on the roster, she always performed. She always performed, and she had one of the best matches of the night. A couple of main event matches on NXT. Great showing at War Games. Her rivalry with Gonzalez. I really think that she has a bright future ahead eventually. I mean, I've seen the rumors. I try to stay away from. I've seen the rumors she's going to get called up. I think she'll do great on the main roster, whichever brand she goes to. Hopefully Raw to give Asuka someone to battle with, and maybe someone to kind of segue that title away from Asuka without it having to go to Charlotte. Sky's the limit for her as well. Great work in NXT. It's going to be sad to see her go because I still think there are some matches left there for her, but she's had a great run. Props to her for a great 2020. Now we look at the main roster and NXT. I guess they're all main roster, but you kind of know, I feel like it's the call up. The first one I wanted to recognize is Bayley at number 5. And you're like, what? Bayley's so low. First of all, you've been talking bad about Bayley all year. Why is she on the list? She held the title, the SmackDown Women's title, for most of the year. She did lose it at she lost at Hell in a Cell to Sasha. A lot of people, including myself, very skeptical about her going heel. Didn't really think that it was going to be something that she would be able to mesh well with character-wise. The look in the ring, the way her matches went, the heel tactics, the shady wins, it paid off. SmackDown Women's Champ for most of the year, Women's Tag Champ for a good bit of the year to our role models. And then the ultimate backstab that we were all waiting for. The question was, who was it going to be? It had to be to character. Bayley's gone full heel. There you go. And I thought it was a nice way to get the belt off of her too. She still gets to stay heel. Bianca, and then potential call-ups for other matches. There's still a ways for her to go. And you could kind of say if Carmella's going to fall out the title picture, tag titles, it could be a thing. We'll see. That'd make a nice tag team. But I like, all in all, what I've seen from Bayley. I said I was really skeptical early on, but I have to say, in totality, her 2020, really good year. So props to Bayley. Number 4, low on my list, and I know this will get people to complain. I know I will get pushback, is Randy Orton. Like, why is Randy so low? I will say Randy has had a good year because he kind of redefined his character, which is hard to do when you've been in the game for so long, and not only has he done that, but he has had great matches in the process in 2020. The WrestleMania match with Edge, I think it went better. If I'm going to be honest, I think it went better being without a crowd, being last man standing. I thought that was a great match. The last man standing, I can't remember. I want to say it was last man standing. I think it was a Falls Count Anywhere match. Actually, not think about it. It was a great match. And then the greatest wrestling match ever. Still surprised to see him win, because you just, you kind of expected Edge to, but then Edge got hurt too, so that may have altered what happened. But you have that taking out the Big Show, taking out Flair. He ends up getting a title shot against McIntyre, multiple, and he ends up winning the championship. Didn't need a 14th title reign, but still, he had a good year. He was a top star on Monday Night Raw. He put together a lot of good matches at pay-per-views, and I mentioned earlier with Keith Lee, great match. That's not just because Keith Lee was in that match, it's because Orton too. As much as I may bemoan Orton being a champion, Orton can still go in the ring, and clearly it showed this year, or last year, so props to him for that. Good year. We're assuming at some point Edge will come back and we'll get a finish to that feud, but still, Orton's in a good one right now, and we'll see where it goes, and kind of segueing from there. Number 3, The Fiend. Started the year out as the Universal Champ, and then he lost to Goldberg. And then everyone kind of complained and thought that was the end for The Fiend. And guess what? He had a really interesting feud with Braun, ends up winning the title, and what do you know? He loses the belt without even being involved in the decision to Roman Reigns. And again, people start freaking out. Like, what are they doing? They're wasting the ball. Blah. He goes to Raw. He is in an amazing feud right now with Mr. Orton. It has been quite entertaining. But I'd have to say The Fiend, I feel as a wrestling fan, the matches are entertaining. You had him starting the year off against Daniel Bryan, who's obviously one of the best going in the ring. An entertaining match, Inferno match with Mr. Orton. And just the way his character has morphed to take on Alexa, to have her shift character, and to become a part of this as well too. The promos are amazing. It's one of the things that I've enjoyed the most about Bray's work is the promos, whether he's in the Firefly Funhouse or some of the other things, kind of backstage, with Orton, said the thing on fire and him coming out and all that stuff. Like, it's been entertaining. Everything that he touches turns to gold, whether it's him or whether it's Alexa's Playground. It's been great. It's going to continue to be great. Looking forward to him coming back. And I don't know what happens when he finishes with Orton, but I look forward to seeing what he does in 2021. I'll tell you that for sure. Number 2. Number 1's going to be obvious. But number 2, there's going to be someone missing from the list. I'm going to address that before I go to number 1, because I said it's going to be obvious. Number 2, cheating the list. Your former tag team champs at this point, but the Street Profits. Start to finish, best tag team of the year. No doubt, it's not debatable. Doesn't matter if you're talking NXT. It doesn't matter if you're talking UK. Regardless, they have been involved in great matches, maybe too long in some cases with Garza and Andrade. They, they've been awesome. The Viking Raiders, Warriors, whatever the hell you want to call them, the promos they had with them, match with the New Day, had Survivor Series. They have been great. I know they're not the tag champs now, but I said everything that they do has turned to gold. They have been, to me, honestly, if it weren't for the titles that I have to look at for the number one spot, and how the magnitude of that number one spot being the guy is, I would actually say that I put the Street Profits number one. They've had an amazing year, in like my opinion. They've had the best year from start to finish. But I digress. Given that they're the tag champs, and just be honest, WWE is kind of, the tag division is kind of a little bit of a mess right now. So in a sense, them being able to stand out probably could put them at number one on my list. But again, when you're the guy, I kind of have to factor that into my evaluation. So they sit at number two, but Ford and Dawkins have been amazing. Everything, backstage and in the ring. So props to them, and they're going to have a great 2021. And number one, so it clearly, me referencing the title, it's got to be either or, right? Well, I can tell you it's not Roman Reigns. And you're like, okay, you're a hater. We know you don't really like Reigns, you're a hater. He missed some time. Have to hold that against him some. I know everyone's super excited for the heel turn. I know why he missed time. Totally understand. But he did, and I have to factor that in, because I think he came back at SummerSlam. So you look at, he left before WrestleMania, missed all the way up to SummerSlam. That's a good chunk of the year. I kind of have to say, if you look at everyone else I had on the list, they pretty much were there all year. I can't put you on the list. Impact wise, you can say maybe, but in totality, I can't, because there's still other wrestlers that I could put before him. Number one is Drew McIntyre, and I'm sure that comes as no surprise now that Reigns out the picture. Wins the Royal Rumble to start the year, beats Lesnar, believable title reign, first time through. Loses the belt to Orton, which was unfortunate. I felt that didn't really do him any good, but now he's the champ again, so good start for 2021. But great matches against Orton. Dolph Ziggler, given the fact that they used to be in a faction together, I thought was really well done. The Big Show just kind of being thrown in there just because was, entertaining. But I really believe that Drew has had a great year. He's ascended. His promos, I think, has been the biggest thing for me, because I always felt that he could go in the ring. Great match with Rollins too. That just popped in my head. The thing for me that really clinched it was his promos. His promo work has gotten so much better since he was a mid-carder long ago. It's been good. Love his entrance. You can just tell the intensity he has in the ring. And the only thing missing really is, I just wish, and I think all of us do, at WrestleMania he would have an opportunity to win that title with the crowd, get the big pop that he definitely deserves. But he's the dude right now. He's going to continue to be the dude. I feel like down the road at some point we'll get another match against Reigns. Their match at Survivor Series is pretty good. Obviously shenanigans in, so there wouldn't be a clean loss. It wasn't going to be a clean loss for either guy, because they both have so much momentum. But a sign of things to come. That said, that's my list. I'm sure Orton doesn't sit well with some people where he's at on the list. I'm also sure that there's another guy on that list, or not on the list, say Roman Reigns. The thing is, a Johnny Gargano guy, maybe put him on the list. Cross the Undisputed Era. Cole did have a good year too. Where do you differ from me? Who do you add? Who do you want to take off? And what are we going to look at for 2021? We're on the road to WrestleMania. It starts with the Rumble, so it should be pretty exciting. That said, thanks for watching. Make sure to follow and sub to the YouTube channel to be notified of new videos. And obviously we talk about this on the Twitch side. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. I will see you later.